Butter butter is the name of a dance we do down Johannesburg way.
Hi, I thought I'd dress up a little bit for today, being Italian themed and all. Just spoke to Noah, young Noah in Tuscany, and we just shared some recipes on hashtag what's in your fridge, and I thought I'd dress up and look respectable for the occasion, Milan being the fashion capital of the world and all. Okay, so enough nonsense. I thought what I would make is to show you how to make a risotto. Now, a risotto is a fairly simple thing to make, but there's certain rules with it, you know. And I'm not one for rules. I hate rules. But if you follow these really easy steps, you'd be a risotto queen or king in no time. Okay. So the first thing is that we're going to make a risotto without a stock. Because we never have stock, and if you use the stock cubes and stuff, it's not great. You can always get from the supermarket. I see they're sort of packaging stock now. But if you are going to make a risotto that you don't have stock for, then my suggestion would be to use something like bacon and mushrooms in that risotto, because you can't just make a plain risotto with water, because that's not going to taste particularly nice. So we're going to make a bacon and mushroom risotto, and yeah, let's see how that turns out. Okay, a couple of basic things, a couple of basic ingredients here. All right, we've got some onion. We've got the rice, obviously. We've got the onion chopped, some garlic, mushies, bacon cut into lardons, into pieces, yeah. And then over here we've got some fresh herbs. We've got some butter, grated Parmesan for afterwards. The butter is also for afterwards, just to fold in. And then we've got a pot ready for the ingredients. That's already hot. And then over here, what's important is the ratio of water to rice. Now, the ratio of water to rice is 1 to 3. Okay, let's actually put this over here. The ratio of water to rice is 1 to 3, and so we got 1 pot rice, okay, and then 3 to 4 parts of water, because there's going to be some evaporation as it heats up. The important thing here is one of the important things that I've learned about risotto is make sure that liquid that you are adding to your risotto all the time is warm or hot, because that doesn't slow the whole process down again. It just keeps the process going. Otherwise, it cools the whole thing down, then it heats it all up, and it just helps with the release of all of those beautiful starches in the rice. Now, okay, we're going to start off straight away. Instead of starting off with the onions, because I feel they're going to burn, we're going to start off with the fat of the bacon. So we're going to render all that fat down. Cooking with glasses. There's the first. Alright, we're going to render all that fat down. Oh, already that's magnificent. Okay, so what you can do at this stage is you can add things like thyme and rosemary and all the rest. I'm not going to add any of that. I'm going to add fresh herbs at the end. I've got parsley, I've got basil, and I've got chive that I'm going to fold through right about a lot, so it's almost green. I'm going to fold that through with the Parmesan, and then just a little squeeze of lemon just to finish that off. Okay. Have a look here. That process is going quite nicely now. As soon as that bacon has sort of changed color, right, pop in your mushrooms. The mushrooms. Not the onions and the garlic yet, the mushies. Okay. We'll just cook those off. Keep the temperature quite high at this stage. There, mushies and bacon all in already. Alright. To this, we are then going to add the bacon. Oh. Don't want the boy to eat that. It's hot. Just keep the temperature quite high. To this, we're going to add the garlic. We don't need to cook the mushrooms now. All we do is give them a little bit of color. But this is when the flavor develops, and this is exactly what we're saying about the stock that we're going to add in. Is that we don't have the stock, we've got water. So what you will see developing on the side of the pot there, is a little bit of sediment. Now that sediment is lekker, and we're going to deglaze that with a bit of white wine, which I forgot to mention. Alright. Now that you've got a bit of color on the bacon and on the mushies, in with the onions, beautiful, garlic, lovely, lovely lad. Okay, at this stage you just want to turn it down. Okay, just the garlic, the onion, the mushrooms. Right. Onions are chopped quite finely. Alright, and then literally as I'm doing this is real time, so we don't have to wait. Now in with the rice, and we want to toast that rice lightly. Yeah? Lost a little bit there. Okay, toasting the rice. Okay, so you got your rice in there with the mushrooms, the garlic, onion, bacon. You can just imagine those flavors. Okay. Okay, now that the rice is toasted a bit, what we do is we deglaze with a bit of white wine. And remember, in the words of Floyd, if the wine is not good enough to drink, it's not good enough to cook with. Yeah, Rake Shannon going in there. Okay, now what you see, just look at this. This is interesting. So what we're doing now is, as you put that wine in, you can scrape all that sediment off the side of the pan, and that's what they call deglazing of your pan. Yes, there's all these massive words today. Okay, so just deglazing the pan beautifully. So all that sediment comes off, and that sediment then is your flavor. And again, because you don't have stock, okay, that's quite important that you do is deglaze that a bit. Very good. All right. Now, please, before you start adding your liquid to this, just reduce that white wine down a little bit, just to develop that flavor, so that it's not as vinegary and as acid. So it almost gets a little bit sweeter. So just reduce it until it's almost dry. Okay, not dry. Excuse me, almost dry. So just be careful of that. Okay. Just fold that through. There we go. Okay, our water is nice and hot on the side here. Okay, I'm going to switch that off. Looks like I'm running out of gas. Still good, yeah? Right, now, you'll see that's nice and dry. Okay, see? Not entirely dry, but it's a little bit dry. Okay, now into that, we start. What is that? What is that? It's just a spoon, boy. It's just a spoon. It's just a spoon. It's just a spoon. Okay. Now, the next thing that's important is that we ladle the stock in threes. So you put the first third of the stock in there. So 1 cup. All right. If we've got 3 cups, we put 1 cup in there. Now, there's goodness sakes. Honestly, fuck's sakes. All right. There's a couple of schools of thought now on this process. I've always been vigorously stirring the risotto as it goes, but I think the big thing here with this with risotto when you make it in general is just to that was quite hot. Is just to shake the pan like that, just to keep the rice moving. Beautiful, just like that. Okay. So every now and again, just move that pot around. Just look at that. And what will happen there is it's just going to start thickening up beautifully. Now, again, as soon as that risotto has absorbed all that liquid, then you add in your next third. Okay, only a third. Your next third into that. Be back. I cut you out there for a little bit. So I've added the second batch of liquid to that risotto, and I'm just sort of coming to the end of it now. When you are adding the third batch, the last little bit of stock, just be very careful. Only add half of it, or a little bit at a time, because sometimes the rice is cooked and there's enough liquid, and then what happens is now you've got to wait for that liquid to all cook away, and then the rice overcooks. And then other times the rice is not cooked. It depends on how much evaporation you've got and so forth. So just be very, very careful. It also depends a lot on the rice grain. Just realize here this rice grain is not the greatest. So buy a good quality risotto rice. Anyway, what I want to quickly show you is this. So I'm basically done now. But what the trick is here is you'll see almost the thickness of this liquid. You see how it almost coats the back of that spoon. Very misty all of a sudden. Let's just clear you up there. How's that? Okay, so I don't know if you saw that, but it's this beautiful, creamy, starchy liquid. That is really what you're wanting. And at this stage, you need to stop the cooking process. So, what we're going to do now, just pay a little bit of attention. We are going to add a little bit of Parmesan that we've grated. Okay, I'm going to put in a couple of blocks of butter. Alright, just to enrich. Little squeeze of lemon. Okay. White pepper. Yes, me and the white pepper again. And a little bit of salt. Just be careful with the salt because you've got all the bacon in here as well. So just be... Okay. And then fold off the heat, please. Off the heat. Remove it from the heat. You fold this into this risotto. Okay, off the heat. Do not start boiling this now or cooking this now, because then the butter is going to split. Oh my goodness, just look at this. Look at the richness of this. The last thing that I folded through there was the herbs. Just look how nice and moist that is. Okay, it's not too runny. What is happening as well is the rice is retaining the liquid. It mustn't, as you plate it, the liquid mustn't run out of it. Okay, then you've done something wrong. Okay, so just very, very quickly then, spoon the risotto generously. Let's put the glasses onto this. Spoon risotto generously into bowl. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, been a little bit too generous there, but it's okay. Sprinkle liberally with crispy bacon bits. Okay, and then finish off with a little bit of this lemon zest. Beautiful. Risotto, bacon, mushroom, a whole lot of deliciousness, finished with lemon and fresh herbs. Arrivederci. Ciao. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. You might wonder what we are doing on YouTube and why we got this channel. And as you see, all of this happened during lockdown. COVID-19 is where this YouTube channel started, and one of the big things for me was to during this lockdown period, and especially being in the hospitality industry and owning a restaurant, was to be able to look after my team and my staff. And basically we have taken my book Mile 8, and all the sales and all the proceeds to the book, or from the book, go to our staff fund, which is pretty special. So you can go to the Marble website and you can purchase your book there. And I think that's just really where we are with this channel as well. I think whatever money is raised from this channel, obviously we need to cover for production costs and so forth of the channel itself, but majority of the proceeds will also then go to a fund, and that fund is going to be ongoing for it'll be ongoing after COVID and anything else. Because I think one of the biggest things that we realize is how vulnerable ourselves and our staff become in situations like this. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Tune in for the next one. Cheers, guys.